Call this meeting to order. Tonight, we're going to be led in the pledge by Miss Nona Hall.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. Before we get into going over the agenda and everything, if we could, I'd like to just have a moment of silence for Ms. Blankenship, and if that's okay with everybody. Thank you. I take it everybody's probably looked over the agenda. Anybody got any questions on it? How about consent agenda?
Ms. Hall is here if you're interested in anything on the Title III immigrant grant. That's a software program we've used at Smyrna Elementary. I think it's one of the first ones, isn't it? In fact, this is the one that Mr. Duke will be presenting as the National School Board Association, this same company.
Anybody have any questions? Ms. Hall?
I'm sure she's dying to speak, though.
All right. We're going to do spotlight on education Thursday night. On the legislative and State Department updates, we'll address that on Thursday night also.
And there's quite a bit coming down the pike.
We'll get into that in depth.
I can let y'all know a little FYI there. We were scheduled to have ACT. The state sets the ACT, or ACT sets the ACT times. That was to been today. We're out of school. There's multiple systems everywhere. They rolled it to Thursday. Thursday's our PLC day, which doesn't really give you enough time to test it. And the only other available is March 18th. That'll let you do. So we sent out to everybody. It's on Twitter and on our main webpage and all. That the junior ACT exam will be March the 18th. So the kids and everybody knows that. In all honesty, it used to be in April. And if you want kids to score higher, why would you give the test a month or a month and a half earlier than you used to give it? So, I mean, the logic there doesn't make sense to me either. But the last date, it's not our choice. It has to be March 18th.
Mr. Chairman, as far as number 7, could I encourage board members, if they're interested, to be involved, be a volunteer and involved in the scope program that TSBA is putting on March 10th, I think. I may have forgotten the date, but I've participated in that over the last 6 or 7 years, and it's basically a mock school board opportunity, and the students really are engaged, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And if you can make time and can volunteer, I think you'd really enjoy the opportunity to participate. And this will be the first year that Rutherford County students have been involved, and it's at MTSU. In the past, it's been at the TSU campus on Charlotte Avenue, and that was a hard drive. So I'm pleased to have it in our backyard. And if you're interested and have questions about it, but I promise you, you'll have a great time if you want to volunteer.
Anybody else? All right. Number 10, facilities, Mr. Odom. I've asked Mr. Carty before you do A and B, if he'll give us an update on a few of the things we got going right now. And
Good.
I know we don't have it on the agenda, but I think we need an update on this.
The three of the major things that we have going on at this time, of course, are Blackman Middle School, Smyrna Primary, and then the roof leaks that we've had due to the 0 temperatures and the teen temperatures. Blackman Middle School is beginning to progress. We've had some real difficulties out there with the weather and having a long enough period of time to get anything done. The gym masonry is complete at this time, and we're expecting that the steel joists will be arriving any day for that. On 50% of the classroom, the floor slab is ready to be poured. And we're relocating some wiring, some electrical, heavy-duty electrical primary lines out from under there. So that's scheduled to take place next week, so we can go ahead and put the footings in for the rest of the building. We did close the road down. There's no access in that one area to the northeast. And we were having some issues with some traffic there, and we contacted the SROs, and they had an extra person they could put out there in the mornings to help direct that traffic. So that's helped us considerably, and we're, as I said, we're probably at least 45 days behind on that project due to the weather. So we're going to see if we can pick that up or not. Then Smyrna Primary. We've worked out there at night over the last couple months, and on the interior of the building, when there's no students present, we have all those electrical lines pulled for the new classroom wing to feed that when the time comes. It's one of the few schools, too, that we didn't have any switchgear in it, so we could just go turn it off if we needed to kill the power. So we're going to take care of that issue. We've always had to call the power company and have them come out and kill the power to the building, but we're trying to get that set up so we can do that now. The plumbing rough end is ready on the classroom section and ready for the pour slab. So we're looking, if we get some nice weather in the next couple of days, pouring that. The storm water system is almost relocated at the library, which is on the other side, so we can start putting those footings in. And of course, we got all the portables moved out of that location, and they're set up and ready to go for her use. And then, updates on the roof leaks. As you recall, we had Thurman Francis, we had Riverdale, and we had Smyrna Primary with some major roof leaks during this really, really cold weather, and those are all old coal tar roof, which were built up. And they're not even manufacturing that type of coal tar anymore because of the carcinogenous problems that the workers were having in putting it down with the hot steam rising off of it. So that is no longer manufactured, so we'll be replacing those hopefully in the capital improvement budget at the beginning of this next year. Now the temporary fixes are holding, and they'll continue to hold, but by next winter they'll also be brittle, so that's why we've got to replace those. We have carpet scheduled in the library at Thurman Francis. We have new floor tile ready to go in. We have accounting of all the books and everything that was destroyed by water damage. And not this Thursday and Friday, but the following Thursday and Friday, I'll be meeting with the insurance adjusters and their inspectors to walk those schools and just see what they intend to help us with to get them fixed. We've been working on a strategic plan, and I'm sure Mr. Odom will be discussing that more. I've focused in on our capital improvements need. One of them's roofs. And then one of the other issues that falls under me, under the engineering department, is systems technology and hardware support. And I also have a layout on how much money we would need to apply to that program to replace all the new computers within a 5-year period. And we need to be on a 7-year cycle pretty much on our roofs, or at least for the next 7 years. If we replaced $3.5 million a year of those that are due to be replaced, we would have them all replaced in 7 years. So it's a pretty serious problem we're faced with that, because the coal tar roof, for instance, they're at the end of their useful life, which was supposed to be 15 years, and it's right at 13 or 14 years since those were replaced. So we got roofs on the newer buildings like Las Casas and Rockvale, and some of those, we consider those newer, but now they're beginning to be older buildings. So all of that stuff is going to start coming due, along with new heating and air conditioning components such as chillers and boilers. We're beginning to have to start replacing those, so we need to make some preparation to find some money somewhere to put into that program. And I'll take questions if you have any at this time.
You mentioned you're 45 days behind on Blackman.
Yes.
Do you have that 45 days built into it, or?
No, we're actually have used everything that we pretty much had built in, and it's a possibility that they could pull it out and get it done, but we're going to have some serious weather cooperation. I hate to go from all this cold weather and snow and ice and into a drought, but that's probably what it would take to get it done on time.
Was there any other extensive damage other than Thurman Francis as far as books and fixtures and furniture?
Not really. There's a little bit done on some materials, teaching materials and different things at Smyrna Primary, but it wasn't extensive. They had 3 classrooms affected when Thurman Francis had that whole wing with a library in it there, and a classroom section behind that. And we've got an accounting of all of that now, so we'll be presenting that to the insurance company and seeing what they'll do for us. Their $100,000 deductible is kind of a tough spot to be in when you get into those, and I know Mr. Sandvik tries to keep that fund built up, and it's hard to do, to handle that kind of damage.
We also had 35,000 for damage at Stewartsboro.
Oh yeah, we had a gentleman that was helping his daughter, I guess, move some stuff into a classroom and bumped the building and did $35,000 worth of damage to it. I don't know how fast he was going when he hit it, but it knocked a bunch of structural stuff loose and destroyed some of it. So we had to tear an entire wall out and rebuild that, and then do all the painting and stuff, and bricking that was associated with it.
The term I would think would be subrogation.
Subrogation?
Yes, sir.
Well,
You said he was in a vehicle?
yeah. Angel's working on that at this point. She has all the information.
Anybody else? Thank you, Mr. Carter.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Odom, number 10.
Number 10, facilities, Blackman High School Junior ROTC Raider Obstacle Course. Ms. Gail Vick, principal of Blackman High School, has requested permission to construct a JROTC radar obstacle course on the campus. The course will be constructed between the ball fields and Blaze Drive in the open field and be 700 meters long, with each obstacle framed and mulched. This will allow the Blackman High School JROTC to host competitions. The course will be constructed at no cost to the Rutherford County School Board. Recommend approval. Motion to approve construction of a JROTC radar obstacle course on the Blackman High School campus at no cost to the board as presented.
Do we have obstacle courses like this at other schools?
I don't know, there are some obstacle courses, but I don't know whether it'll be of this same level for sure or not. I think that's be what I was thinking
Some that are
about.
very similar, they're, most of them are in a little bit tighter area than these. And, there are, the other high schools are capable of, having competition at their school, and Blackman's not, but this will put them on that same path, so they can have competition with other JROTC, troops.
Anybody else? B.
B is Riverdale High School football multipurpose facility. Mr. Tom Nolan, principal of Riverdale High School, has requested permission to construct a 60 feet by 140 feet pre-engineered metal building on a monolithic concrete slab funded by the Football Booster Club. The building will be used for training of both male and female athletes and help achieve parity in facilities with other Rutherford County High School football programs. The building will accommodate players, coaches, trainers, and managers, as well as have a men's and women's weight room. The estimated cost of the facility is $491,000, but with donated labor, the club believes they can build it for a cost of $400,000 at no cost to the Rutherford County Board. The school and football booster club will be responsible for following all pertinent codes and obtain all required permits. Recommend approval. Motion to approve the construction of a 60 feet by 140 foot multipurpose football training facility by the Riverdale Football Booster Club at no cost to the Rutherford County School Board.
I guess on this, my question, just to make sure that, I guess this be a question for Angel probably. There's no liability on our part, correct?
To my knowledge, there is not, Mr. Shannon and I were just discussing, I have not seen the loan paperwork, if there is any, so I'll get that from Mr. Nolan tomorrow and have that for you on Thursday.
Okay. 'Cause I would think they'd either have to raise the money or have personal guarantees on it somewhere.
Right, and I haven't seen what they're planning to do in that, so I'll make sure and have that by Thursday.
Okay, good. Anybody else?
Yeah, let me
Mr.
ask you, if they default on the loan, what happens to the building at that time?
They want Jeff to answer.
Mr. Reed?
The building's on our property, so it belongs to us.
So it's our building, so they would have personal recourse against the guarantors of the note. So whoever signs the note, they would have liability.
Okay, so we
To the
have
bank.
no liability at
No.
all, and building's ours, okay.
Thank you.
Got another question. I believe or assume the football team's gonna be dressing out there. What do we do? I mean, I think the locker rooms they're at now are in need of repair. Are we going in to repair those?
I don't know of any plans to do that, but the entire sport area on the inside of the building down there is kind of, in need of some help. We've looked at the basketball area, that really needs help, and we're intending to do some work on that, but I'm sure all of that will come to light at some point, once they kind of get everything moved and, the other team sort everything out on the inside of what they're gonna use.
Thank you.
It's vintage 1972. There's
Right.
certainly some upgrades, some other things needed.
One of the main areas, is shower. There's many old showers in there, it's very difficult
Okay. Thank
You
you.
good? Anybody else? All right, number 11, we'll address it Thursday night. Brings us to number 12, general discussion. Anybody got anything?
I think we'll be talking quite a bit about the legislative action that continues to occur, but I guess you've actually got a place for that, but we all need to continue to keep our eyes and ears tuned to the legislature, because this stuff is coming fast and furious right now.
I'm appreciative that we've received a response from Senator Ketron, and that's been distributed to the board members. And as of right now, I don't know that we've received any other responses. Perhaps they'll come before Thursday night. That was our wish, right, Chairman?
That's what I requested,
So,
so. Maybe we'll have something between now and then. If not, we'll address that too.
Yes, sir.
So,
absolutely.
anything else?
Just we pray everyone would keep Ms. Blankenship in their prayers. Pray for her recovery.
I had an opportunity today to speak to the Noon Rotary Club and talk about the good things going on in Rutherford County Schools today. So they received it very well, you know, so we got lots of good things to talk about. So it's a good opportunity to do that.
Anybody else? If nothing else, we'll see everyone Thursday evening, 5 o'clock. We're adjourned.